Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's me, David Tripp III, here live at Street Clientele Studios. And I have a very special guest this evening, none other than the 478 grinder, making moves out here. We're pleasure to have in our presence Young R. Young R, how are you doing this evening,
doing
sir?
Good, man. Doing all right?
I'm 100 grand, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Man. So, I mean, R, man, it's been a minute, you know, me and you go back. We go back from when J.A. was here.
Yeah, we talking about some years.
Yeah,
some
years, man. And one of the things that I've noticed, man, is that you've always been very consistent on your grind out here, man. And I want you to talk to the other independent artists about what you had to do to remain consistent and to remain relevant as long as you have, man, because you've been on top for a long time out here, man.
The only thing that I can say that keeps me going is just, you know, really a love for music. And that's how it starts off with everybody, anybody. Whether it be you make beats, you rap, you know, anything that you do, it starts off with that initial love for it, you know,
right.
that when you like to do it. So no matter how it turns for you, no matter if you get a deal or you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you lose sight of that, then you're going to quit. So that's the only thing that's really kept me going.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can definitely tell that you have a love for it, man. And another thing that I noticed with you, man, is that you seem to get out and can you just talk to them about the importance of networking? Because I see you everywhere that I go. So I know you out here networking, and I know that we both know the importance of it. But from in your own words, you know, can you explain like how you network, why it's important to network?
I mean, the power's in the people. If you think about it, I mean, of course, like with artists, you know, we have to. DJs are gonna help us get our music out to the people. So that's the first step, networking with DJs and, you know, being accessible to people to let them know who you really are, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Nobody likes a snobby artist. So networking with people, networking with DJs, networking with, you know, business owners like yourself, different entertainment companies, because if you show love, they'll show love back.
Absolutely.
And that's how you get that ball rolling.
Right.
So it's just really important and just kind of going to different areas. So it's all based on you. If you want your music heard in different areas, you got to network in different areas.
Right.
You want your music heard by different races, you got to network
right.
with different races. So yeah, networking is key. It really is key.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then I would also like to ask you, out here in the Middle Georgia area, you know, everybody has different labels, different groups. What do you feel about the state of hip-hop music or rap music, the rap culture here in Middle Georgia? How do you feel it is now, and what are some things that you feel we could do together to improve that?
Based off talent, we're second to none. And that comes from my experience, and that's not from me being from here. You know, when I go to these open mics, I go to these showcases, I go out of town, I hear these different artists. If you take what we have in the 478 area and compare it song for song to these other people, it's not even a competition. We're better. But what we suffer from is that we don't have really any strong media outlets for hip-hop.
Right.
Our stations, yeah, they're media-based, but they're not really BDS.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're close to Atlanta, but there's no real focus on making Georgia in a positive light. Say, for instance, where you got Texas, where you got 3 or 4 different cities, you know, with major artists coming out. But even Louisiana, you got, you know, 3 or 4 different cities.
Right.
But in Georgia, it's kind of just the main focus is in Atlanta, and the closest success I've seen to that is Fillmore with Albany.
Right.
But you know, even then, you know, that it took a lot to make that happen. So until we get some type of big media outlet, or where, you know, I don't know whether it be a TV show or something just to shine a little bit more light on the area, it's going to be hard for us to make it happen from here out.
Right.
You know, that just is what it is.
Right.
The thing about it is, if you want to win a game, you got to know the rules.
Absolutely.
And as far as Middle Georgia, our rules are set up to where we can only go so far.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I try to go to Atlanta, not jumping on their bandwagon. I rock with a lot of people from up that way, but I go there because we've been blessed to have one of the biggest media outlets, not just related to rap music, an hour away.
Very true.
So if you're really serious about your music, in a sense, why not go there? It's almost like having Hollywood an hour away for rap music.
Right, absolutely.
With, you know, people filming movies, they're filming TV shows, they're looking for talent, anything and everything. As far as the Billboard works year by year, you got somebody, the hottest artist up there is spread out across the world. So really, my focus now is to just take over up there, because everything trickles down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you run around these chitlin circuits and you go to these different cities, but at the end of the day, they follow what happens up there.
Right.
So my goal is just to really take over up there and show them, you know, really what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely, man, and that's some valuable insight, you know. And I think in closing, I want to ask you, what would be the one thing that you would leave the independent artist with? What is the most valuable piece of information that you could leave an independent artist, or any artist for that matter, in your own words?
Everybody hasn't heard your music. Everybody don't know you. I don't care how many friends or people tell you hot, everybody has not heard your music. And if you take that approach to where every person you meet, you introduce yourself, or every person you see, you're trying to constantly push your music, then you'll be successful. I have to remind myself, because I've been what most people may call semi-successful with music. You know, made a little money off of it. The situation with Lil Wayne, the halftime at the Falcons. You know, a lot of people will see me and be like, hey, I want to do what he does, but even at my semi-success, you can ask people who is Young R, and they'll be like, I don't know who that is. So I'm not grinding hard enough. So if you ask, you know, yourself that question, if you ask yourself that question, I wonder if they know my name, and they don't know your name, you're not grinding hard enough until you become a household name. So I really think a lot of independent artists sell themselves short. They don't really try to push the envelope as far as, even with taking advantage of the internet. You know, a lot of people say, well, I ain't got money, or I ain't got financial backing. So I can't do this, I can't do that. But you do have a computer. Have you used TuneCore to get your stuff on iTunes? Are you just, okay, let's break it down. Let's think about Facebook. And I don't mean to go too deep into it.
No, talk.
But let's say if you got 5,000 friends on Facebook. That's just 5,000 people. Those might be 5,000 people you know your whole life. So you post your song on your Facebook every day. You think you grinding. Are you really grinding? Those are the same exact people. Because you can't get more than 5,000 friends, right? And a lot of people don't focus on band pages or do things of that nature, even with Twitter.
Very true.
They don't really go out and try to market to get new followers, to get their music new people. They spam your timeline with their music. Like, I'm grinding, I'm out here pushing my music. Don't believe in physical copies of CDs. Artists need to, don't forget, if you still get in your car and put in a CD, then you need to get CDs with your music. Period.
That's right.
Until you don't get in your own car and put in CDs,
you need CDs.
Flyers, posters. I pride myself in trying to, you know, stretch the envelope. I spent some money on a little pop-up. I take it's like a billboard. I pull up, pop it up. Now I got a picture of me 8 feet tall at the door. So now everybody come in, they got to see me. So it's just always, don't be scared to, you know, do what someone else is doing, like what you guys got going on. You know, get advice from people. You know, humble yourself. You don't know, I don't know everything. If I knew everything, I'd be rich and famous. So, you know, I would say independent artists always strive to learn. The internet is your friend. Everything I learned about registering my music, media base, BDS, everything I got off the internet. Nobody told me. I didn't have nobody to show me. Use what resources you have to your best advantage. Quality. I would like to see artists kind of spend more money on what's important. You know.
Absolutely.
100 CDs cost $35. You just smoke about 3-4 blunts loud. You do the math. You know, it just. It's true. I can go on this stuff today. We ain't gonna go that far. Oh, shit.
Well, man, look, it's been a pleasure this evening. We really appreciate you coming down, man.
Anytime, man.
It is Artist Appreciation April, and we definitely want to take the time to support Young R on his grind. He's definitely on his grind. And again, man, we really thank you for your time this evening, man.
No, man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Thanks, man.
All right.